Hi, it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and I want to show you a colouring special effects colouring book, and the reason that there's two of them is because this is available in two different versions. This one is a colour version, it's black and white outline, and this one is a grayscale interior. So other than that, they both look exactly the same on the cover, so just be careful that if you're ordering it, that you check the one that you would be interested in purchasing. Now, the reason that I'm showing you two is so, of course, you can decide which one you would fancy. Now, it's a book full of techniques. So you start off with your basics, and in the grayscale version, everything is grey, and in the colour version, you have the coloured look to it. Now, I have to say that I was a little disappointed that the grayscale version didn't come with any instructions that were specific to grayscale. And really, it's the same as this book, but just printed in, blacks and greys and whites. So if you're a visual person, you may want to get the coloured version, because that's probably going to help you more working out what you actually want to learn. So in the grade version, we can see that we've got the spears, etc., and they're already coloured or greyed out, so we can work out where to put our shadowing. And then in the colour version, it becomes easier to see because we can see how that effect changes on the actual book. So we've got skin and eyes, and the grayscale version of that, realistic eyes, and the coloured version of that. So really, if you want to actually practice and learn these things, I'd probably be inclined to buy the coloured version. I'm going to use the grayscale version to practice first of all. Everyone knows that I'm just a beginner, so I'm going to practice in the grayscale version because I've purchased two books, I may as well use it. And then I'll move on to the actual coloured book and practice in that one. I think it's going to take me a while. Now, there's a lot of technique books on the market at the moment, which is absolutely fabulous, especially for us colorists that are new or beginners. And you probably think, oh, well, you probably only need to buy one book and you'll be right, or watch YouTube videos. But my opinion on this is slightly different, and obviously you don't have to agree with me. But there are some books on technique that I would buy, like Rachel Reinert's, because she's got a very distinctive watercolour-y type look to her finished products, and I would be interested in replicating that. Whereas other books, like Helen's here, show me details about hair and eyes and other things that, yes, I could learn from looking at a ton of YouTube channels, but quite frankly, I don't have time to remember where I seen something and how far in the video it was to remember it for later when I want to use it again. So having a book that you can refer to as a reference is a really good idea in my opinion, because then I can pull it out and go, I want to do air bubbles, and there's a helpful index at the front, so I know if I look up Helen's book, I can practice my air bubbles. Whereas if I want to replicate a look that I might see that Thania Mercado does, or that Rachel Reinert does, or anyone that's producing these lovely technique books, then I can refer to that, and I've got them in one sort of handy spot. So I think, there's a real benefit, especially if you are, like me, new to colouring, not sure what to do and where to put things. It's super helpful that way. So as you see, Helen really goes through the techniques here. And the good news is that she's actually doing another colouring book or another colouring technique book so that you can discover even more techniques. So I'm not quite sure when the release date for that is, but it'll be coming soon. So I'll probably use this grade version. I'll practice in here and see how I go with that one before I move on to this lovely coloured version. But you can see the coloured version does give you a lot more idea of what it looks like finished. And there's also a number of practice pages and little practice pieces that you can use in this book, so super helpful. Snowfall backgrounds, some different effects here. Plus you can also create your own colour blends here, so that's always useful. And there's a number of pages here where you can test things and create some things, cut them out. You've got a colour chart at the back, which is always useful. And a blotter page there at the end. Now, Grayscale one has the same. It's not in Grayscale, these are just in outline form, as they were in the coloured interior book. And that lovely little helpful colour chart at the end. So that's it, the Grayscale version and the coloured version of Colorist Special Effects. There's a new one coming out as well to add to your collection, and a fantastic resource and reference for new colorists and colorists that want to expand their techniques. Until next time, happy colouring.